Hello viewers, you're welcome again to Young World. This is Young World and you are Young World. You will be excited to be in Young World again today. All into the new year, we have been talking about our health as it relates to the young person. As a young person, your health matters a lot. And that is why we took out time this January episode to talk about your health. We spoke about dementia. We talked about physical fitness. We really went into it extensively because we know that that's what affects the young person most, to be physically fit. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about your general and mental well-being. I'll first of all, let my guest introduce herself to you before I continue. You're welcome.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Jemima Obaro, aka Olanwaju.
Yes, Jemima, you're welcome to the Young World.
Thank you.
We are very excited to host you.
And I'm happy to be here.
You're welcome. Jemima is a mental health professional. She's an upcoming YouTube influencer as well, so we might be seeing her every now and then with us in Young World. She will be working with us as well. Your health, your general well-being matters. It has to do with from your inside, putting your spirit, soul and body together in good health and in good shape. As a young person, it is very, very necessary that you take care of what happens in the inside of you so that your mind and your body will be in the right direction. Sometimes your mind is wanting to go in a direction and your body is wanting to go in the opposite direction. It's not too good. So if we begin to be conscious of our general well-being, this will make you a happy person, and that's why we have taken this time again in this episode to again talk about our well-being. I'm going to leave our guests today to introduce us into this episode.
Thank you so much. It's nice to be here and talking about what I'm passionate about, because I'm really one of those people that really kind of like talking about our general mental well-being, because sometimes we shy away from the fact that we're going through some stress and some problem, and it's one of those things that actually make things worse for us daily.
Yeah.
From some of your program I was watching, you talk about depression and things like that. Those are parts of what mental well-being actually entails. Like, you need to be able to be in sound mind and body to do daily things, like work, like relationship, like family. It's a lot of things to kind of look at in this regards. Mental well-being, it can be as little as not having good relationship with people at work.
Yeah.
Because for instance, if you go to work and you have issue with some of the people at work, it takes a lot out of you to get up every day to want to go to that job. It just takes the energy out completely. And having had that experience myself, and I had to take it on myself to like, you know what, if I have to be productive in this area, I have to talk to these people I'm having issue with and things like that. And I realized that talking to them actually helped me and made me to understand that some of them too are going through a lot of stress.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's just about talking. Communication is quite one of the key of this situation. So yeah, some people, they might not like you for not liking you, say. But at work, for instance, we're all, especially we in the nursing professionals, because we're all aiming for the same goal. We're looking after people. Who look after us?
Oh.
We look after ourselves. And if we are not productive or not looking after ourselves well enough, then it affects who we're looking after.
That's true.
So it's very important to be sound. You know, and then, you know what, there's different type of situation that can cause or hinder well-being.
Okay.
When we're talking about depression the other time, when I was watching the program about depression the other time, I think one of the guests was kind of nailed quite a few about this situation about depression. But there's other things too that can attach to it. I remember one time when people, you know, Yoruba people will say, Abisiwi.
Oh yeah. Yes.
People say, but you don't really understand what that means.
Yeah.
But actually, somebody that is sound mind and everything like that, then have a child. And when they have a child, something happened. Because it's, believe it or not, having a child is trauma for some people. Not even when you're giving birth. Why carrying that child? Because something new is inside you. Your whole system is adjusting to what is not. It's like sickness. You know, when sickness is in the body, you feel sick, you go to. But the thing is, when you're having a child, the joy for some people, to others, is trauma. And then when you have that child, you can't bond with it because you don't feel well. So for me, it's quite interesting how the Yoruba, the little things they say that you look at, actually we have it in medical terms and nursing terms that actually is happening, like postnatal depression. It's the same thing we say abysmal. But then the good thing about now and Western world is that they tend to like work with you when that is being cited or you get support. But we as an African, we're not quite there yet. Some people like, oh, it's only a child and everything like that. But we probably because of our background and things like that, we look at it like, what's wrong? You're seeking attention. But actually, that person needs help.
Yes, and so forth.
And mentally, because they know that maybe whoever they with will not support them that way. They won't say, they keep it. And the more they pile it up, their mental well-being is going out of the window. It's imbalance.
That's true.
So this is a very broad and difficult topic. For example, I suffer from depression from childhood.
Of course, everyone, one time or the other, we had depression.
People have it differently, but we're so ashamed of talking about it. We're so ashamed about, what people will say to me or how even people that have it. Like for me, I see people, sometimes I talk to people and I can tell you that assessing them as a nurse, as a mental health nurse, I already assess them and I think this person needs help. How do I create that help to them? Because they're not telling me. Even if I say it to some people, they'll say like, nah, we don't have that. I think I'm just tired out. But I can see that. But if I know somebody that knows, I'll just say, look after this person, call them and talk to them and see how it's working. But as a professional, I would report to I'll write assessment immediately and then recommend that this person needs this help, this young person, because I work in camps, which is child and adolescents mental health services, and it helps me to know more than I know already. Because the funny thing is, we don't believe a child can have depression because we say, what is she or he thinking about? Everything is being, well actually, children get affected from parents. If the parents have that, why, before they're born, they can pass it on to them without them knowing. And that's why sometimes some people going through depression during pregnancy, they can get recommended for medication, which is safe for the child, or therapy. So it depends on what will work with them. But to be honest, mental well-being is kind of, for me, I look at how do you go about being well mentally. Depression is one of the things that you have over and over, but how do you come out of it? What support is out there for you? How do you talk to, who do you talk to? Who can you communicate with? And I believe that if you have people around you that you feel ashamed or silly to talk about things like that, dish them. Get rid of them.
Good.
I'm sorry, it's just not going to work. Because life is too short. Especially now, this generation, things like that, fast-paced, everything is fast and everything like that. But if, whatever the situation, if you're with people that cannot help you to get to where you need to be due to your mental problem and everything like that, walk away. Because you're going to just get stressed. A lot of us, I think, is the fear of being alone. Sometimes being alone actually gets you to where you need to be. Because being around some people are distraction from moving to where you need to be.
As a young person.
You know, some people, they want to help you, but actually, they're not helping. They are causing more situation in your life, in your path. So you have to know what actually you want to go for, how you want to be well. It's like somebody that I met some in my children's school. At the gate, I take it out of myself. I'll wait at the gate. If I've noticed you that you're always there, I will wait and talk to you. And I'll try to, some people don't like to talk to you, but when you start getting to them, you realize that they're going through so much. So what can you do? What is there? I mean, I've talked to like over 10 or 15 people whereby I took it out of myself to find job for them. Because they don't have jobs. Some are having serious relationship problems, styles, and you know, like, okay, you can't get money. What's the best way for you? What do you think you can do? There's some online jobs that you can do. Can you learn about this within a couple of days, and then you can use that as a job? And a lot of people, once I get that, they will tell me, how did they see they find me? But because I know that they might not have that time because they have 4 or 5 children. So what I do is I'll go online, find them, the training they can have and send it to them. I even had like a coffee morning for women for well-being in the school. So we can talk about difficulties, marriage, relationships, whatever the situation is. How do we support each other as women, as ladies, as young or single, whatever the situation is. And then we kind of like, okay, I know some people that have helped to do application for going back to school. They want to go back to school, but they feel like, oh, it's been long, I don't think I can know. But I realize that when you talk to them, they know so much, but they feel you're known or taking a step forward. And I'm talking about very young people, Europeans or Asians, this is quite common we do this because they kind of close group. They don't kind of make friends, but I just try to talk to people and then I realized that they needed help. I talked to them, I applied for some things that they can, and sometimes I kind of refer them to the school and then the principal. Now they're having like maths and English classes for people that cannot speak English, because some of them, they cannot speak English, they're always indoor, they bring the children and everything like that. So now they have 1 hour section every week to go to, because I have to talk to the principal and say, what can we do? What can you introduce? And then that came in. So there's a lot, and I can see there's 2 mothers now that actually went to got a job, and I saw them, and the difference it makes them. As every morning I sit there, I'm going to work and I'm like, oh my God, what
what transformation has happened?
The transformation from people I used to see that cover their head like they're giving up already. They just, so it's quite a broad thing talking about mental well-being, because we shy away out from this topic a lot, and we're kind of worried about what other people think about us.
I'll hold you on that. So viewers, you see, we are quite very, very privileged to have our guest with us today, and it's for someone who is practical, someone who has the knowledge, who has the knowledge of what we are talking about. Mental well-being, it's a very common issue with everyone. You may not be married now, you may still be a young person, but it's good for you to know all this for the future, for your sake. So when you are in that situation, you are able to remember this episode, you are able to remember this talk show, and you are able to help yourself or help someone. Just as she mentioned, I just mentioned about the postnatal depression. It's very common. And you know what? When we were young, I was still in Africa. We had a friend who had a baby, and she was just sick. We didn't know that was what was wrong with her. And because people didn't just know, she was not well taken care of. She eventually had infection in her womb, coupled with the way she was behaving, that I didn't know. I was just praying. Her friends were just praying, thinking it was something demonic. We lost her. Years back. We lost her. When later in life was when we realized that while late Bola died then in Abuja, she was not well taken care of. She had postnatal depression, where she didn't know how she was behaving. We didn't understand. We thought it was something, an evil spirit and all that. And then she was not properly taken care of. We lost her. But here in this country, in the Western world, I've got two friends, an older lady and another younger one. It could happen to anybody. It doesn't have an age limit. And they had this support, and they had their children. The older lady had 4 children, and the younger one had 3 children. But because I knew, as a person, I knew what it is now, I was able to help in the support, because they don't actually know what they're doing. So you might be watching as a young person, you are not married yet, you don't have a child yet. It's good for you to be aware of this. So when it starts happening, you know it's happening and you need help, you take help. I'm sorry, I'm not taking your time. I have another family, a lady with 2 children, 2 girls. The girls are between the age of 20, 24. The lady, the mother, is depressed. She's always been depressed since I know her. She will seek for help. She doesn't want to get out of the depression. Do you know what? Her 2 daughters are following suit. And if you are there watching, young person, do you have a mom who is at home and is depressed and they're keeping it quiet? You need to seek for help. Look for support. Are you, as a young person, do you see signs of depression, mental unwell-being? Are you not mentally fit? Try to find help. Seek help. That's why we had to bring this topic again. Because your mental health, your mental well-being controls you as a person. It's your body, and it's what you think in your mind that you do.
It's quite interesting what this topic, when you talk about it, it's never ending.
It's never ending,
a lot of
yeah.
people, even some people, you know, they commit suicide through
That's
this
it.
depression,
Yes.
because they feel like there's no way out.
Mm.
And I think for we Africans, I think we need to be more aware of our surroundings and people around us. We
Yeah.
need to be more sensitive about how we approach people when they're down, because sometimes the way what we say or our attitude
Yes.
actually make it even worse
Yes.
for people.
Yes.
And some family, I mean, during my training, I had some young people that would come, and when I'm doing my assessment about the problem, because these people come from uni, they've been referred from uni. And you know, we Africans, my daughter is in university, my son is in the university. If they don't go, the pressure we put on them because Mrs. other person daughter goes to university. What did you do? We start to put pressure
On them.
onto those young people that they are not ready. Not that they don't want to go or they're not going to go. They're not just ready that time. And we keep putting pressure for them to go, and then at the end of the day they go to school because they want to be, they will go to the school, but they want to be away from you when you cannot see what they're going through. And then they will go to school, they come from school, we get a lot of referral because I used to work in triage and community. And what happened is that when I go to assess some people that has been referred, when the young people see me, especially Africans, they get really like, they mask a lot. They just start, they don't want to talk about anything because immediately they see me, they see like, oh, my mom or my family kind of person, she won't understand. They already coming out. But by the time I start talking to them and asking questions like, this is confidentiality, this is, you know, I don't know you, even if I know you, it's not in my place to discuss whatever, you're an adult because you're over 18, and then we'll start. And then when they open their mouth and tell you about what's going on with them, and then my question will be like, do you tell anybody at home? Have you discussed with your mom and dad? Oh, you get some people say, my mom say,
we don't have crazy people in our family.
We don't have crazy people. They will say it in Yoruba to me. Then because sometimes when you're talking, you don't realize that they speak Yoruba, but they will use that word exactly. One particular young person, I would say, that said that to me. I said, why do you use the Yoruba to say that to me? And she said, to see how deep that touched me. And I promised myself that I would never discuss anything with my mom again.
You're going to do one thing now. Sorry to have cut in. You're going to look in that camera and you're going to address parents. How to stop, you don't want to put pressure on our young ones. Find out what they want and let them live their life. Please.
Okay, in this regard, there's a lot of young people in the university that are going through depression due to pressure from family, especially we African mothers or fathers. Because we want to be like other people's, we want our children to be like other people's children. I went to university, got first degree and everything like that. The health of those children is not a concern. Even though we are mothers, the pressure is too much. We need to stop and think about, even if a young person is not ready to go to school yet, it's not because they don't want to go to school, they're not ready. Give them time to be ready. Because when they are ready, they'll do better than the people that's been forced to go. So we need our parents, aunties, especially African communities, the pressure of sending children to uni because you want to fit into category of kind of parents. It's killing a lot of young African children, and that's where some people start doing drugs. Some young people get into drugs because they're not ready to go. You want them to go, no problem, they'll go to the school, but then they get into real situation whereby we start going to church, we start talking to God, but then God is a wonderful God, don't get me wrong, God does everything as we want it, but there's always a clause when it comes to God. You've got to follow exactly. Pray for your child. If you say he's not ready, don't pressurize them. What do you want to do? What are you willing to do? Interact. Call them. Let them know that you're ready to support them whenever they're ready or whatever they want to do. And if a child doesn't want to go to university, they have other ways of training or things they want to do. Don't push it.
They could go into
there's a lot of entrepreneurship or apprenticeship that can make them even better than people that went to university. Because it's just too much. I see every day and night and everything like that. I've been on the ward in my placement whereby a set of twins, a boy and a girl, they're 21. One day they just left school like that. Bored that they're going to Africa, they've never been before. And they have to bring them from April to, then they section them to be in the hospital.
Goodness.
And listen, by the time they were there, I started talking and I realized that they can't go home because their parents will be cross or disappointed that after all this money spent on them, they don't want to go to university and their friends will be laughing at them. So we need to really step down from that high mountain of wanting a child to go high and above just because it's not about them anymore. It's about it's not about the young people, it's about we the parents, because it's what we want. It's us that want to show off with what we're sending our children to do. Yes, if you was not opportune to get all that support, and it's here now, you think, oh, because the opportunity is there, I didn't get it, so you have to go. No. That was your time. This is their time. You did what was best for you at your time.
Yeah.
They're doing that now.
And I think eventually they will still go to school. It's just that
they will.
Need
That's
the
time. That's the thing. For me, for instance, I never wanted to go to school. I didn't start early. I just like when we go and pass and everything like that. But when I got over 20, everybody hated me for it. But I got to about 22, 23, and I started looking at, okay, let me see what, I start doing little training on the wall. And then when I was working on, I realized that, oh, okay, I want to be in my manager's position. And that's how I started going into school.
Yeah.
Till my master's. Because I realized, not because people want me to do it. So we need to be aware of that.
Yeah.
It's not by force.
Yeah.
It's decision.
Yeah. We parents, it still comes down to we parents. You need to know your child, know who the young one is in the house. There is no young person without a parent or a guardian. You need to know who this young person is, what they want. Every person has things in their mind, have their type of life they want to live. Young ones are pregnant with a lot of ideas, especially in these days.
Brilliant, Steve.
Yes. You know, but some people, just like our guests have told you today, Jemima said, she came to realize. I too, I love reading. I am an academician. You don't need to force me to go to school. My parents and everyone they were very, very happy, pleased with me when it comes to studying. But you know what? I also came to a point in my life that I said, this is where I want to go. This is what I want to do. I think parents, let's soft pedal it with our children, our young ones. Let's watch them. It's not everyone that has to go to university, you know. Yeah. If you want to become an engineer without going to university, it's possible. In this environment, very, very possible. So we need to make sure, it's very, very important that our young ones are mentally fit. Their soul and mind are together. Thank you very much for that. Thank you. We want to talk about our general well-being. And I look at it in this way. If a child has the right environment, speak the right language, think the right way, behave the right way, that child will have, you know, a good outlook and insight, you know, in words. I found out that an environment where you have foul words, swearings, F language, D language and all that, makes those children ugly and they behave badly. It's not healthy. I mean, it makes them ugly. It doesn't make them look as innocent as young people. And this kind of make a child feel, oh, I'm grown up. Oh, I'm matured. And then they do things they shouldn't do, which affects their overall well-being.
In regards to that, to be honest with you, it has to do with the kind of people or place where they are.
Yeah, environment.
So, your environment, you can be identified by. But then, I still kind of bring it back to situation of well-being mentally.
Okay.
Because if you're okay, if everything is going well as it should, there will be no way you'll be shouting or using those languages where there's children. Because you will always remember that there's children around. And we all know that children don't listen to what you tell them. They emulate exactly what you do. Good. So for a child to be saying those kind of language is because they're feeding on what you are saying as the person, parents or guardian or whatever is around the environment. Because if you look at it, children goes to school and they meet with all sorts of people.
Yes.
Right? But even at that, if you are able to tell the child that this is a wrong language to be speaking, they'll come back home and tell you about it, that, oh, this person used such word and everything like that. Such word. Like my son will always say, I don't talk to that person because he used such word, and I told them I don't like it, but he didn't listen, so I don't talk to them. And I was like, you can talk to them again. If they say that again, you just move away from them, because I think you understand. I think sometimes when I say something, we're like, both of them, my daughter, they'll just tell me, Mom, don't say that. Oh, they will tell me immediately that sometimes maybe I'm really off, like I'm not out because I'm really upset. Like, and I said, oh, please, shut up and leave my phone. And they'll be like, you can't use that word. You can't say that. You told us not to use that word. So I'm always constantly aware of it. But if a child is brought up in a home, watch this. This is quite interesting. You know, there's some home, two parents living together, husband and wife, or boyfriend and girlfriend living together, because they are not in sound relationship. They're living just for living, just for, like, for people to see them, they're living together. But actually behind closed door, they're always on themselves. What do you expect that child to be saying? Because if I'm living with somebody that I cannot relate to or talk to, we're always shouting or saying one word that's really bad, that
it's
our
child
child,
the children.
Because that's what they see.
That's true.
They feed on what they see. Not even the school. The school is what they see from you as a parent or parents. Because sometimes it might be difficult for people to say, I'm not that kind of, I don't attach emotion to a lot of things because I think it just blackmailing some me, especially to suck up some things that it should not. Maybe if I don't have a child, I might be able to, but because I have a child and I don't want my children to kind of have those kind of to live in an environment whereby it's not conducive for good thing or for them to grow in a good way. I'm gone. I'm done.
Yeah.
So it's very important because we look at mental well-being. Sometimes you think you see people, they are okay and everything like that. They come, you see them around here, but when behind closed door, they're not mentally sound because they're too opposite wired together. But they're pushing it maybe because of family, maybe because it's because of our children. But it's because of that children you need to let go so that you can help them. I used to say something to one of my friends. If you go to someone's house, for instance, and you have a child, you took your child went to go and visit another friend in their house, and they saw two parents sitting next to each other and kissing. And then in their house, either mom is upstairs, dad is downstairs on the phone, mom is in the kitchen or doing something like that. They don't experience that. So when they see that, that's when you see children say, ew. Because they're not used to it.
True.
So what's the point of being together if you're not together?
That's true.
Because that's part of mental well-being.
Wow. That's really true, viewers. I hope you're listening and you're learning. The children should grow up in an environment that will give good, positive well-being to both their soul, their mind, and their body. When we have children growing up, young people growing up in the wrong environment, it makes life ugly and hard for them. It doesn't make them strong to go into life and to be able to face the challenges of life. No, it doesn't give them that strength. General and mental well-being of a child and a young person, a young adult, a growing adult, is to make you strong to face challenges because life is full of challenges. If not, it's going to be strange to them and it will make them look for external things that will make them strong. And that's why you see most people go to smoke different things. As you said, most people go into drugs. Do you think, viewers, young people at home, do you think people who are angry at themselves and go to the street to fight and stab, do you think they have good well-being mentally, emotionally, physically? Do you think? Don't you think something is wrong with the mind for someone, a young person, to do that? That's why it seems as if we are flooding this topic. But this is because it is necessary. It's going to make the life of the young person beautiful. It's going to make you live a very healthy. And you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I was just going to say, the most important part of being healthy and your mental well-being in the right place.
Yeah.
Find what works for you. Try
you.
as much as you can to study yourself. What makes you happy? Marriage, relationship, all these things. Money, they don't make you happy.
Who are you? Who you are?
But yourself.
Yes.
The happiness comes from doing, and it's because you doing what you like, you're passionate about. If you need to study, go and study. If you need to, travel, try and see the world. Leave the story of the money, because we kind of have money. You're working and then you're worried about, I don't have money, I need to do this and everything. Like you're keeping money. If anything happened to you today, that money is worthless to you. So travel, enjoy yourself, meet people. If you're in the midst of people that they don't understand how your behavior or your kind of person, find people that will understand you.
Yeah.
Remove attachment to people.
Yeah.
Because you're giving them a kind of authority over you, and you're not going to go far, because people can only see where they're facing. They can't see behind them. But you need to for you to see behind you. You need to move around and go there. Even though change is the most constant in life, and a lot of us, that's what we're scared of. But you just have to take it. You just have to move. You just have to do things that will make you happy. Because in the long run, we are all still going to be alone for some reason or the other.
Yeah.
So for me, I'll say if you're capitalizing or so engrossed with something, and that thing is not actually giving you the kind of happiness that you're looking for, instead is stressing you, you need to come out of that
Make a change, yes.
Isolate if you have to. Isolate yourself. What can I do? What am I missing?
Yeah.
Try and talk to different people that, do you know what? For some people that they don't have relationship, they want to go into relationship, they feel like I'm getting old, I don't have, go on, do online dating.
Yeah, for
just for the, exactly,
just for the fun of it.
For the fun of it, just, if you can do online dating, just join some group online.
Yes.
There's a lot of group, nobody knows you. And you will hear a lot of things that will actually motivate you. Because you need to find something to motivate you.
So it's not actually only for the young person.
It's for everyone.
For everyone, the elderly, and you feel lonely, you feel deserted. You feel
and for the young one that has older parents or maybe auntie or mom, that's single and everything, talk to them about it. Let them, encourage them. If you see them that they're not happy, try and look for something that will make them, you can see the transformation of what you've done. Help them, because that's, we are there to help each other. And we, the young ones, are the one that can see even now, because of everything is there for you to, maybe the older ones are kind of like, reserve and everything like that. But the young ones, you've got all the brain, all the gadgets, or everything that you need to get there. So it's just about knowing what makes you happy or will make you happy. Go for it. Whatever it takes, go for it.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Viewers, we are very pleased to have Jemima with us today.
Thank you.
General and mental well-being is all about making your life beautiful. It's all about you living your life as a young person and as an older person, as a parent, as an auntie out there. I want to believe that you have found a good knowledge in this. You have self-assured that you are on the right path. And if you are not, you could make a change. Change is the constant thing, on earth. It's a very constant. We could change for the good and for the better. And this program, Young World, is about impacting, is about showing you direction, the right thing to do to make your life beautiful as you face life. We have therefore come to the end of today's episode. We are so pleased to have Jemima with us again. You are welcome. Thank you for being with us in this episode.
Thank you for having me.
We will have you again, hopefully in the future.
Thank you.
So viewers, come to the end of the program, to the end of the talk show. I'll see you this time next week. Before next week, have a beautiful time. Stay blessed and enjoy. From us in Young World, it's bye-bye. Bye. It's telling me.
Happy Gems Daycare is an Ofsted registered childcare provider in Erith, Slade Green and London area with several years of experience in childcare services. We are open 7 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. Monday to Friday. We offer free 15 to 30 hours government funding for 2, 3 and 4-year-olds. All our staff are highly qualified, first aid trained with child protection awareness. We offer pick-up from home and drop-off back home, and we are flexible to meet parents' needs. Just a quick call on 013-226-352-68 or 078-077-29720 or email info@happygemschildcare.co.uk or visit our website www.happygemschildcare.co.uk.
Jerusalem, Jerusalem, land of glory, Jerusalem, holy land, and a visit to Jerusalem.
These are the things that have been written, and we are bearing witness to them as being true. This is an opportunity for you to visit Israel, Mount Nebo in Jordan, the ground where God spoke to Moses, showing him the promised land and the holy land of Jerusalem. 10 days visit to see for yourself the places which you have read in the Bible, like Elah Valley, where David defeated Goliath, Mount Nebo, Sea of Galilee, Canaan, where Jesus turned water to wine, River Jordan, where John the Baptist baptized Jesus Christ, Joseph and Maria House in Nazareth, Jericho, the Dead Sea, the Garden of Gethsemane, where Jesus prayed, Lazarus' tomb, King David tomb in Jerusalem, the house where Jesus and his disciples had their Last Supper, the Pentecost Upper Room, and so on. Our office is at Albert Basins, South Dockland, London, E16 7QY. For more info, please visit www.holytrinitypilgrimage.co.uk or please call Captain Mother Hassan on 078 721 37953 or Pastor Elijah Kamui on 079 846 34898 or email us info@holytrinitypilgrimage.co.uk. A pilgrim is not a tourist. The tourist sees sights and returns home the same person, but the pilgrim gains insights and returns home changed and spiritually fulfilled.
Jerusalem. What's the Heritage TV? Heritage TV.
Everybody in London, have you heard that Heritage Television has come up with something new? All your functions and celebrations can now be multi-camera live stream that was only reserved for the rich and famous. Having a function in London can be viewed clean and clear immediately from any part of the world. Trust Heritage TV to give you a better reach. Heritage Television also does photography that will make you the envy of all your friends and family. Heritage Television is the best. All your functions like birthdays, funerals, weddings, church anniversaries or harvest. Heritage Television is the master. We are in the heart of London with an ultra-modern equipped studio. You can call us on 020-800-46100 or email us info@heritagetv.co.uk or